Hola, bonjour, and hello, everybody. You are listening to Worldwide T, the international drag race podcast, where every single week we recap everything going on with the international episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race. As always, I am Evan Sawdey from Pop Matters.
I am Gregory Elwood from the playlist and sometimes the LA Times. You can find me everywhere.
Yeah, and we are deciding to split things up a little bit. Right now, there's a bunch of seasons going on. And we also have a new one coming up fairly soon. So it is nonstop excitement. But most importantly, we want to focus. There's so many notes and so many things to talk about. We're separating out our coverage of Drag Race Slaysian Royale because it's just so fucking epic and good. And it's a long time coming. And as we record this, two episodes have aired, and we have a lot to say about it. Please, if you haven't already, please check out our Meet the Queens for thoughts and opinions about what we thought of it. But Greg, long time coming. Now it's finally here. How are you feeling about the Slaysian adventure that we're on?
I think it's interesting. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
everything we thought and more.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like by the end of the second episode, I have concerns, but I'm excited. But there's interesting storylines, but I'm also concerned. So it's like I'm curious what you think as well. I'm very super curious.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're recording a lot of
Yeah.
episodes today, so we are going to get right into it. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, it is the very first episode of Drag Race Philippines Slaysian Royale. And it's my favorite part of every episode. All the queens are arriving. Greg, I take it you have notes on all of these looks as they
I have
came in.
notes. As I told them before we started this podcast, I have written more notes on this one episode than we've what this is like the 29th episode, or I don't know how many episodes we've covered
I
of
think
different
this is
episodes.
30 at this point.
30,
Yeah.
but that doesn't actually count the number of episodes of Drag Race we've covered. So I've written more for this than anything before ever.
It's really incredible. And I'm so excited about it too. So,
Yeah,
who's the first person that walks in the workroom for us, Greg?
it's Arizona Brandy.
Arizona Brandy.
And she
Incredible.
and I'll be honest, she comes out in a, you know what it reminded me of? It was a very versus the world look. It
100%.
and by the way, she looks skinny, but I didn't really love the look. I didn't really think it was great.
Yeah.
What did you
I'm
think?
just excited to see her as a personality. That's what is like my driving force for it. But I agree. It wasn't changing my life in any specific way. I still had a wonderful time, but I'm just glad she's here, and I think she's a great person to kind of open the show, as it were.
And then up next was Yuha, who now is
Hmm.
going by Yuha, no longer by going Yuha Hamasaki, from America, from RuPaul's Drag Race season 10,
Hmm.
and also from Bootleg Opinions, which, by the way, as we know now, 2 episodes in, she's gonna get that branding out there big time.
Hmm.
Um, but I will say this, probably the smartest, I mean, we should talk about it later, but probably the smartest casting they did. She's already stealing the spotlight.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I love this look, but she's having fun. And through the first 2 episodes, nothing is phasing her. Like, none of this is like rocking her in any way.
The cliffhangers on those goddamn heels were wild, I will say. But so far, I got to be honest, not necessarily my strongest pick for looks of entrances,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna let it pass. I'm still
Yeah.
excited. I'm still having a good time. Who do we got next?
Brigading. And she comes
Brigading.
out in white couture. I think that's how she described it.
Hmm.
And it turns out we find out that Yuha and her have a connection. They both danced for Cyndi Lauper during
Yeah.
World Pride in 2019. And I thought Brigading, I know she lived in the States. I didn't realize she lived in New York, and maybe she didn't. Maybe she was just there for World Pride. I thought she lived in San Francisco for a while, but she did live in the States for a bit, which, by the way, was part of the storyline of Drag Race Philippines season 1, when the queens were not very nice to her, if you remember, a hint of things to come in other seasons. But she looks
Oh.
good. What did you think?
Yeah. I thought she looked. I love the bell. I love the like the stupid elements she had. Her mug was, I thought, pretty fantastic. It made me very, very happy. And honestly, that was probably the thing that struck me the most was the makeup blow up.
Yeah, I thought she looked really good. And of course, I think she even did a little bit of she promoted House of Ding. Um, and
Hmm.
also up next is our girl, our
Hmm.
Vegas girl,
Hmm.
Siam Pushy. And she comes out and cannot get her line right, or maybe she wants it to be that way. And then she sings her song. Did she sing this song on Drag Race Thailand? I can't remember.
She did one of the girl group challenges, I thought, but yeah, watching her struggle to get out her line was maybe one of my favorite things to happen this entire episode. And there were a lot of things that I loved that happened this episode. It was pretty great. She looked great,
But
by the way.
she did look. Did you think she looked great? I mean, I liked it except for the tights. I
Yeah.
thought that the tights were a little like weird choice, but I
It
thought
really
she,
it really felt like entrance look. It felt like a lot of
yes.
people weren't really trying in the same way. And that's okay. I'm still expecting a little bit of glam, but some other queens I think show up and actually do that.
I feel like this should now be the lesson for anyone showing up on any sort of verses, or, if they do this version with Latin American queens or Spanish
Hmm.
speaking queens, you will be not going into the workroom. You will be going on the stage, make yourself look as good as possible. Because again, they've done this on Canada now. They've done this in UK. I feel like they should have known, like, you're going on the stage, look good.
Hmm. Hmm.
But for the most part, they look good.
Yeah.
Uh, and next is the smile that could light a thousand ships, or light a thousand cities. Venus Deluxe comes out. And all I wrote was, there's a hairline. Like, the hairline is sending me, but the mug was incredible.
Uh,
Um, what did you think?
she called herself the mouth of the Philippines, which is kind of iconic, let's be real. And also, she described her outfit as half human and the other half human. And I think that is literally all you could want. I remember really liking her so much on her season, and she is instantly proving why she
Yes.
deserves to be around, and absolutely love it. Absolutely love
Like, she can't even remember if she finished sixth or seventh, which was hilarious.
it.
Um, but she's I think she also said she's wearing an outfit from her season, but I don't remember seeing it. Maybe I misunderstood. I'm sure someone in the comments below on YouTube will tell
And
us.
we love our
And we love
commenters, we
our
will say.
comments.
Absolutely.
And up next, and by the way, this was probably the one queen I think that surprised the rest of the cast the most, because I don't think she was actually rumored like to be on the show beforehand. I think this was like a
Hmm.
big surprise, and that is Ivory Glaze.
Hmm.
And she is super tall. I actually don't remember her being this tall on Drag Race Down Under, but maybe she was.
Hmm.
Uh, she was Miss Congeniality of her season, which I don't remember either. Um, but I do, what the one thing we will always remember her for is she passed out on the stage.
Hmm.
And she comes out, she one of her big storylines is she it keeps mentioning that she's 50% Australian, the other or Caucasian, and 50% Asian. And that's, and she wants to, embrace that side of herself, but also she wants to prove her haters wrong. I didn't know she had haters. Did you know this?
I did not know this, and also we can talk about during the Miss Shuta pageant her thoughts
Yes.
about her Q&A, because it is certainly a thing to say in front of an Asian audience, I will admit. But for my notes, Greg, I'm not kidding. My notes say, "Yep, she's here." Like
Oh,
I'm sorry,
oh,
I'm so sorry. It's just like the entrance look was not giving what I thought it needed to give, and I have more thoughts on her as we continue.
oh, no doubt.
No doubt.
Up next is the one, the only. You love her. You have to love her. How can anyone not love her? Bernie comes out with insane new teeth, like, or new teeth I haven't seen recently. She looks fantastic. And here's the thing: everyone, they all know who she is, even
Hmm.
the international queens, and they're so excited to see her. Um, and she has a very stunning sort of like Kitty Minaj look, which I thought was very different for her. I really liked it.
This kind of rabbity kind of thing that she's going for, it was
Yeah.
fun. And the thing is that I have to remember that with some of the girls are not as fashion forward as the others, but Bernie was delivering fairly consistently. I remember Arizona Brandy not being as fashion forward as some of the
Yeah.
others, and we'll get into the workroom discussion she has. But I was impressed with Bernie. I thought it was really a solid way to start off.
Yeah, no, I thought it looked, I thought she was trying to tell everyone I'm here to win. And
Hmm.
I was impressed with that. Up
Yeah.
next, from my favorite franchise, France, all the way from France, is Kitty Space. And I think the one thing that was sort of surprising to me is not many of them know who she is.
Hmm.
And to be honest, we talked about this during our Meet the Queens. I forgot there was an Asian queen on Drag Race France too, because she was not super, she wasn't bad enough to be
Right.
memorable, super memorable, but she wasn't good enough to be like Magnetica, like a great early out.
Hmm.
Um, but I thought she looked great, and all I just remember taking away from that is that the other girls are shocked someone from France is there, and I
Right.
was like, and I was almost offended for that for her. Like, why would they not think there are Asian people in France, like, or on Drag Race France? It was a little weird. What did you think?
I thought that this was a pretty bland entrance look, if I'm being fully
Oh
honest.
wow.
It was, it was dance ready. And, I think she's known for being able to move a little bit more. But overall, like, she brought a very good energy to it. And, as we've noted, our trans divas tend to slay a little bit harder than others. And, there is great trans representation on the
Yeah.
season. I just thought as an entrance look,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I thought it was one of the more underwhelming ones in my opinion, but that's just me. It felt very drag closet. Let's see, here we go.
I did think there was a really interesting foretelling that was sort of a theme in this episode is Arizona says au revoir to Kitty in confessionals. And I did think as we go through the episode that Arizona and a number of the Filipino queens were being very shady to the international queens in a way that it was like I think the producers did not do them a good service because it looked a little worse than it might have actually been. But we'll see as it goes on. It's also a theme in episode two, but
Yeah,
it's interesting to me.
I thought it
Um,
was for me, like, and I think this is a theme that we're seeing in the show so far, is that it is a lot more playful. It's a lot more old school because when you think about Drag Race seasons 1 through 5 in the US, it is
yeah,
petty, it is bitter, it is her look is shit, it's terrible, and I think Arizona is playful about it. Especially when it's like a bottom two girl, it's just like, what if they both went home? Like I don't get any true maliciousness out of it, but we're not at the Siam Prushi stage yet. I think it might
no,
be an attitude, but I don't think it's, at
I
least in my
think
opinion, overwhelming. Go ahead.
I think Venus is being playful. I'm not
Yes.
sure Arizona or Khianna are being playful.
Well,
That
Khianna's a different case
yeah, that's a
altogether.
whole
So,
different thing.
yeah, yeah.
Up next is something Wong,
Something Wong.
and I don't even know what to say. I just I mean, the one thing was like she has this quote where I know what she's talking about. It was a mistake to say it. She says we started it all. She meant Drag Race UK. They started it all in the Drag Race UK. But she sort of it made it in the context of it, it made it sound like they were the first international season, which they were not
No.
in any way. And yeah, that's all I have to say. What did you think about something wrong?
What did I think? Here's the thing. I'm not sure if her mug was a specific reference on the entrance look. It did not hit me. But we're going to be talking about something Wong a lot in this
Yeah, we're
next
talking
little
about a
hour
lot.
here. Let me tell you. So I'll save my
And
comments. Yeah,
and you know what I'm gonna say?
yeah.
River what is it, Medley? What
River
Medley?
Medway. Yeah.
River Medway was right there. Like she's right there. Would have been great. Um, next. Oh, Bernie says that something Wong looks like a giant. I had that note. But Yuha also says that seeing Sun was like seeing a sister. I guess something Wong must have done a bunch of bootleg episodes, so they know each other. But then they don't really act like sisters later on.
No, they do
Um,
not.
they do not. Finally, last, oh, not last but not least, but up
Second to
next for
last.
the one queen that, or third to last, the one queen that really, really surprised them all
Hmm.
was from Drag Race Belgique season two, from Luxembourg, Madame Yoko, and she comes out and she made the horrible mistake of bringing with her a piece of
Suitcase.
a suitcase,
Fucking
which the
suitcase.
queens are fixated on because they know how to play the game.
Hmm.
And she has a mustache in a confessional, which I don't remember, which I'm not really sure how that worked when she was doing that.
Right.
It was a little, I was
I
like, is
love
it
the mustache confessional look,
sure?
by the way. I thought it was gorgeous. But yeah,
But it could, because it looked real, right? It didn't look
yeah,
like, and I was like, what's going on?
yeah. Maybe
Um,
she's just coloring it really well. I don't know, but it works for what it does, certainly.
and I will say she brings up the fact that she sings really well, and that's her
Hmm.
strength. I don't remember her singing on Drag Race Belgique, but she was also
Hmm.
gone super quick. But
Yep.
also, I do remember at the time, for the five of us that watched Drag Race Belgique season two, she was she was known as an established queen, and it was shocking that she went home so early. It was
Right.
not expected. She was supposed to last a little longer.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Kitty brings up the point that they both speak French, but they've never met before in person. They've only talked like online, but she's glad to have a French friend. And I wrote Arizona is so shady. And I already had a note like I am not sure she can win with this edit. Like I don't know if she can win this season if it's going to be this shady, but we'll see. Anything's
I'm loving
possible.
it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm telling you that right now. But you know what else I'm loving, Greg? You know what else I'm loving?
Suki doll.
Motherfucking Suki Doll walks out here. And I'm not saying that she has something to prove, but my God, I thought this was one of the best looks in the entrance parade. I
Yeah,
thought
she
it
looked great.
was editorial. I thought it was very fashion forward. I think Law Roach maybe wouldn't hate it. I
Yeah.
think it was really solid. She looks ready to play, and I'm just so excited. I'm so glad she's back. She has a different confidence to her, which I'm very excited by.
I think one of the interesting things as we talk about these two episodes is, Suki has sort of a quiet edit.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying she has a Sasha Velour edit, but I'm not saying she has a we have 10 episodes, and I think they might be saving Suki for stuff down the road. I don't know.
yeah.
Um, uh, but now, last but not least, and literally coming out of like a cannon, like boom,
Bitch,
it's
bitch,
Khianna, and she has the
bitch.
most energy. She's Aja All Stars 3, 4. Was it 4 or 3? It was
Three.
3. Ready to fight. Like she's like there. And the first thing I feel like within 5 minutes of her, I was like, why did they not save you for Global All Stars? Like this is like what you're gonna kill all these people. They're gonna be bloody. They're gonna be dragged on the ground. Like she's ready to play.
Yeah, she is so energetic and so ready. Like the look was fine. The look was good.
Yeah,
It was a very standard Khianna. But fuck me. She is ready to dominate. And the thing is that as these episodes go on, Greg, I don't know how you feel, but like already, any one of these girls can win that from Philippines.
yeah.
International girls is a different story, but like if somehow Venus won or if somehow Brigading won, I'm not going to be mad about any of it. Like they are still ready to go, but Khianna is so unstoppable and everyone feels her presence. As much as
Yeah.
Arizona Brandy was also a runner up, Khianna just takes up the space, and deservedly so. I think she's a little pompous, but it's that kind of pomposity that feels earned.
And Arizona was a runner-up to Captivating Cat Cat, right?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why Captivating won. Okay. I was trying to remember because I never wasn't a fan of
Wow.
Captivating.
Glad we didn't have
But
captivating on the judging panel
no,
yet.
thank God. Not yet. I don't know if she is. She
Oh,
might
she is.
if she is, okay.
Yeah.
Um, so Rue has a message for them while they're
Actual
on the
room
stage.
mail.
A Rue
Actual room
mail,
mail. Yeah.
which I believe they shot during UK.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember what she says, but it's super basic.
Uh-huh.
Um, but also Mama Pow comes out, Sans drag. And the one thing I'll say about this episode is, Mama Pao, I think I misremembered during Philippine seasons that Mama Pao spoke in more English during them than she actually did.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it took an episode for Mama Pao to like adjust to speaking in as much English as possible. And
Mm-hmm.
by the end of this episode, she was gone. She was like ready to go. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a little bumpy at first. It was like you could tell it was a little awkward. She was trying to like get in a rhythm. And this was like the one part where I was like, oh wait, this is a little awkward for you. Like it was interesting. What did you think?
It's interesting because since we're talking about 2 episodes, we have a little bit more
Yeah,
context. And when we get to the girl group challenge in episode 2, the Philippines girls speak in Tagalog, and
yeah,
they feel much more comfortable in that. And bear in mind, on the judging panel for these first 2 episodes, it is Maxi and it is Jimbo. So you kind of have a nice splay of different things. But I
yeah,
feel like they are trying so hard in this first part to really force it to be in all English. That's how the queens are going to be able to
yeah,
communicate. And then once some of these Pinoy alliances form, a lot of that falls to the wayside.
yeah,
Because some of the verses in the episode 2 are just flat out, straight up, not in English. And I
yeah.
think there's an advantage to that. I think Siam uses that later on by speaking in Thai. But yeah, it's interesting, but also it's Mama Pao. She feels much more confident even on episode 2. But either
Yeah.
way, we have a lot of really good drag race episode seasons running right now. And in 2 episodes, I am so on board for everything that happens. Like it might
Oh,
be a little
good.
bit bumpy, but like I am locked into this whole season.
So I really don't know if we have to spend a lot of time actually talking about this lame ass
Mini
hair
challenge.
mirror mini challenge, but I do want to bring up that not Mama, yeah, Mama Pao announces that the grand prize is 2 million pesos, which is $35,000 in the US.
Hmm.
So I'm not you know me, I am not a conspiratorial person, Evan. I am not convinced that Yuha was not promised something else to do this. Like there has to be some other. Why would she do this for only? I just don't. I am curious if she. Anyway, I just it seems very odd to me that she would agree to do something where she could literally make by winning one challenge or coming in second in a challenge on a 3 episode US All Stars. Like I'm trying to figure out that the payoff is for her, but I thought that was like for some Ting Wong, that's what you make in like that's what the UK winner sort of gets now, and like for
Hmm.
France, that's like the same. Like it would be a lot of money for or it'd be almost the same, I guess, for Australia. Like I get all that, but for a US contestant, even a Canadian contestant who gets $100,000, like wait, there's got to be something else for them. Like
I got so mad over this, I decided to eliminate Soa Demuse. That's what I did.
uh
But and I will say, it's the thing where to be fully candid with you, and we kind of talked about it during our Meet the Queens. While Yuhua has had a glow up to a degree, in these 2 episodes, I think we clearly see definitely wasn't enough of one. And there's a part of me that wonders, even with this new 18 queen bracket all star stuff that's going on, if she is the kind of queen that would get the call, or if this is one of the only calls she's going to get. Like it was a long time between season 10. That was the second season of Drag Race I
yeah,
ever saw. So there was a long time between then. So maybe this was just luck of it. Maybe she knew this was the only chance. There's hell, maybe she may have even turned down other All-Stars calls. I don't think she would, but I think that for whatever reason, whatever call this was the right one, because I feel like she at least wanted to, if not win anything, at least get her brand out there, notices. Because in episode 2, she does say bootleg a whole lot. So,
yeah.
we'll see. That's just my thoughts on it, though.
Well, they do have for this mini challenge, Khaled Karen. Is that how it's Khaled Karen, right?
Khaled Karen.
Khaled Karen comes out to judge because she was a permanent judge on the regular Drag Race Philippine seasons, but she's
Hmm.
sort of popping in just like John Santos, like at different moments, because clearly they want to have queens on the panel, which is like I love that, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um, so the dance off is won by I don't even know who won. Was it
it was
Khianna?
Khianna.
It was
Khianna
Khianna.
starts a streak that we will see for a hot second.
And
Uh,
she wins 20,000 pesos, which I think is like 500 or $900. Like
yeah.
but it's something. It's money.
Hmm. Absolutely. I mean, the economic disparity in Philippines is very different. That
Yes.
goes a long fucking way. So I think she's very happy with that. But also, let's not glaze over Ivory and Suki losing their wigs in the
Mhm.
hairography challenge. Like, girls, what do you think this is? Come on. Suki, I was a little disappointed by. Ivory, whatever.
I don't think they knew that would be happening. But but hey, you're supposed to be prepared for anything. You're supposed to be prepared for an underwater challenge, for like a blowing wind photo
In
shoot.
your
You should be
face.
ready.
Right. Exactly. Well, either way, it is a good thing that she wins because she now has an advantage because during the Q&A portion of the Maxi Challenge, which is basically a Miss America style pageant, except it's Miss Shutaka, in which there is a national costume, an evening gown with reveal, and a Q&A section, she gets 5 more seconds for her Q&A answer and takes away 5 seconds from someone else. And in that advantage, she decides to take away 5 seconds from her sister Arizona Brandy to put her at a disadvantage.
Does she do
Uh,
that at this point or does she do that later? She does
oh, she
this
does
right
that
now?
right now. They say
Okay.
she has 5 seconds to
Okay.
determine, and she just looks around and decides to be cordial to the international queens and put one of her sisters at a disadvantage.
And then we also have a moment where Mama Pao uses the word resplendently and doesn't
Resplendent.
even know what it means. She's like, I don't even know what that means. Like the real Mama Pao is coming out. It's very exciting.
I love it.
Um, they're in the workroom. And by the way, we should say that this pageant has three different portions. There is a national costume extravaganza,
Hmm.
there's an evening gown extravaganza, and then a reveal.
Hmm.
And then there is the question and answer portion. So there's a lot of different parts, and it is a pageant.
Hmm.
Um, and then they're in the workroom, and we learn all sorts of different things about the queens. We learn that Arizona has insecurity over her perception by the fans. We learned that Madame Yoko thought her Vietnam roots would help her, and thought that she wasn't a real Vietnamese person. And when she visited as a kid, she had a really interesting story in that respect.
Hmm.
Um, and the only other note I have is that when Mama Pao comes in to visit them while they're getting ready, she does her "What is happening" when she walks down into the set, which I just loved. I don't know why, I just loved it.
I
What
thought
did you
I
think?
thought I thought the Arizona thing, I'm glad you highlighted that because when she talks about being compared to other runners up, the other two runners up are Mariana Summers and Khianna. And like, I get it. Like she had so many props, she was funny, but I don't think she had as much of a lasting impression. So it's interesting to see how, even in Philippines, this is very clearly a successful franchise. Fan perception still means the absolute world. So
Yeah.
it is. It was interesting, and also I think there was maybe a weird moment for Khianna because Maxi is on the judging panel for these first 2 episodes, so it's
Hmm.
right back at it again. But it feels good because as much as there might be some shadiness, I still feel like there's a sisterhood aspect to all these queens coming together. I feel like they feel that this is a significant moment, and I think it's cool to see. Because for the most part, they're having playful fun in the first episode.
They are, and we quick because there's a lot of runways. We quickly get
Yes.
to the runway. Mama Pao looks amazing, as always. Of course, you knew she
Yeah.
would. Maxi looks stunning. I loved her dress. She looked so good, and I thought Jimbo looked great too. And both,
Yeah.
I thought Jimbo looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And they are doing once again, for people who have listened to us talk about Drag Race Philippines, the Filipino cameramen on this show, can never figure out how to time the "and may the best queen win" with Mama Pao saying it and having the camera at a certain angle. It's always the most awkward thing, and I think it's intentional. And they once again have it very awkward, which is sort of crazy because for most of this episode, I actually thought they may have had WoW editors edit it because it's the most. I thought the rhythm of it was the most US I'd seen of any international in a long time, or even UK. It was very
Hmm.
US UK. And no, it's the regular editors. They just got it into
They
that rhythm
upped
as
their
well.
game.
Yeah.
Well, there's also
So
so much show in this episode specifically that they have to cram in. So I feel like they may have taken some lessons
yeah,
to tighten up the pacing, which we're going to do right now because we got a lot of runways to get through.
yeah.
So, Greg, do you want to do it queen by queen, the runways and the QA?
Let's do yes. So
Okay.
just a quick heads up though, when we were watching, John Santos and Karen come out, and they are your
Of
hosts
the
for the pageant,
presenters,
the
yes.
presenters. So the first look is the okay, so here's my big thing that I think they learned right after this runway. was, listen, the stage has gotten an insane upgrade. It looks
Hmm.
utterly fantastic, but this red and white graphics that they had for the first runway
Hmm.
literally did a disservice to every single queen, no matter how good the outfit was. It was too distracting. It was too busy. By the time they got to the second runway, they went to a more sort of toned down blue fading like thing.
Hmm.
And then in episode two, it's even more calm.
Yeah.
And but this was like oh no.
You thought it
Like
was too distracting from the
oh
looks
insanely.
itself.
And in fact,
Yeah.
you can tell because Suki comes out in this it's a maple syrup inspired
Yeah.
look. And it doesn't look that great on the. I was like, what is going? It looks. I'm like, it looks like whatever. And then you see her photos of it, and the photos are not that um
Dressed
airbrushed or
up. Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
and it looks the dress looks fantastic. It just that background really distracted.
Yeah.
um
It was
Up
still an
next,
incredible look, though, I will
yes,
say. Yeah.
I mean it. I didn't think it looked as good as it should have, that she wanted it to look like on that runway. Up
Hmm.
next is Bernie. I thought it was fantastic. It was a very,
Incredible.
but also a little predictable. Like a little like we've seen this look a little bit before. I think even Raven brought that up on
Oh,
Fashion Photo
fashion.
Review. Yeah,
Okay.
like we've seen this a number of times with Filipino queens, but it was still great. She looks fantastic.
Hmm. Full agree.
Oh Lord, some Ting Wong comes out and she borrowed this
Ah!
from Tia Coffee.
Oh my
It
God.
is a sequined bodysuit with a coat on it, with a tie, and it's meant to represent her family coming to the UK. I got what it was trying to be, and we can talk about the judging critiques later. I didn't think it was a big improvement from what she had done in her own season. And I was like, I still can't believe that it got two toots on Fashion Photo Review. Like,
Right, because
insane.
this
Like,
reminded me of UK season one. The very first one was a Queen Elizabeth inspired runway, and Something Wong was in the top because she did the postage stamp thing where she
yeah,
was in the box and looking around. But this honestly looked more like some of the other looks from that runway, just kind of drab. And the whole point of this is that even though it's a hometown look, you're still pushing your Slaysian identity and heritage. Okay, go ahead. That's
I
that.
don't know if they told that to the queens.
Okay,
I'm not convinced they did.
because
I
that came up
think
in the critiques, right?
I know, and I think that there was a miscommunication. I think that they assumed the queens would meet understand that, and I don't think they did because I didn't see anything that Asian in Suki's look either. It was
Fair.
maple inspired. I think they used that as an excuse to put them in the bottom.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's the judging panel making that decision. But I still think that, and also they weren't the best looks anyway, but we'll get to that anyway. So
Arizona
after
Brandy.
is Arizona Brandy. It was super pretty, but I also it's not her fault. It got lost in the background of like what that gigantic busy digital thing that was going on. Um
It still had volume though.
yeah,
This traditional look with this giant square hat, these broad soldiers, it still had impact. And I think whatever happened with the background, the volume of her look still
yeah.
popped. And it was unique and it was distinct, and I loved her for it. I thought it was great.
So you know what I'm gonna say for Ivory Glaze, right?
Is it drag closet?
N-
Is it drag closet?
no,
Okay.
no. Great gowns, beautiful gowns. Also, not beating the down under allegations. Like
Girl,
not at all.
girl.
Very down under. This actually would be safe on down under. Not
This would win in Down Under for all we
maybe.
fucking know. It's a dress, y'all. It's a
It's a
black
dress.
dress.
It's
It
a black
is.
dress.
I
Yeah.
speaking of early outs, Venus Deluxe, Venus Deluxe with this nurse soldier look with these giant shoulder panels with the red cross on them. Greg is not a
Mm,
fan. I thought it was
no.
very distinct. Maybe not my favorite fashion moment, but I thought it was very distinct. What did you hate most about it?
I just didn't think it worked. I thought I liked what she was trying to do. I just didn't think
Hmm.
it worked in but I wrote it was clean. It was well made. It was clean, but I
Hmm.
just didn't think it worked in context.
Yeah.
And up next, and our girl
Girl.
just slaying the house
Can
down.
we stop for a
Yeah,
second? As Greg and I know, we are the only 12 people in this world. Two of us are us who watched Drag Race Thailand season 3, and we from the get was like, Sian Pushi is a sweet, innocent flower child. She doesn't deserve the insane bullying that she got. Her whole edit, this whole episode, her whole run makes me so happy. This is one of the
Yeah.
things I love most about All Stars. This is what I love about the Drag Race format, is these kinds of stories. Her coming out in this Rue badge look was amazing. It was incredible. This is not my favorite look that she did today, but like
No.
I just felt so much pride in seeing her step up to this level because I think you and I knew she had something in her, and if she was sloppy on Thailand season 3, she's still kind of sloppy, but she's much more polished in this instance here. Such a huge fan. One of my favorite things to happen on the screen is these runways from her.
Oh, I think she's made a huge jump in a year. Like it was a less than
Yeah,
a year than when
year.
she
Yeah.
shot this.
We
Yeah.
started this
Um,
fucking show like,
yeah.
like as that was airing. So she's had not had a lot of time between
No.
filming and when it came out. So props to her mama.
And also, in case you were unaware, the Rue badge sort of chest plate she was wearing was made and stoned by Shortgun from Thailand.
Oh,
So she
that's
actually had a lot of help
awesome.
from her Thailand, some of them, I guess, to help her on this season, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Up next is Brigading, and this is what I'm talking about. This look is a shoot. It
This
is
is a shoot.
so good, but it is diminished because of that horrible background. Like,
Mm.
go please, if you have not seen it yet, go look at her photos of it, which are not super airbrushed. They're just regular photos of it, like on her Instagram. It looks absolutely stunning. It is one of the, with so many seasons, it's one of the top 20 looks of the entire year of all Drag Race. It's unbelievable. So beautiful.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
Incredible. So happy for her. Okay, this Madame Yoko look. Madame Yoko's treatment this whole episode is interesting to me because does she have the strongest looks out of all the girls here? No, I
No.
don't think we can say that. However, she still has a very distinctive perspective and point of view. And as we brought up before with this whole hometown look, but celebrating Asian heritage, something gets lost on here. Her masculine royale, almost like military look, I thought was deeply interesting. Maybe not like great, maybe not like, good, but I can see a point of view behind it and I
Yep.
appreciated that. But judges did not respond to it in the way that I was expecting, certainly. I thought this, for the most part, met the brief.
I wrote I thought it was okay,
Yeah.
and not a showstopper. I don't think this is what got her in the bottom. I
Hmm.
think we'll talk about what got her in the bottom later. But I thought this was fine. I thought Ivory's look was worse. But I mean, they later on they talked the pants might not be fitting well, like whatever. But I thought she was doing a very Luxembourg. I think it's the Luxembourg
Yeah, 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 yeah,
flag
yeah.
colors. But then anyway, up next is from right on the border from in France is Kitty Space. And I actually it's a little messy, but I
Little.
loved it. I loved it. She's doing a Moulin Rouge number, which it also helped that it was the same colors unintentionally as the
Hmm.
background. So
Yes.
I thought that it helped make it look better than it might be. But I thought it was fine. I
For
liked
the
it.
droopiness of the windmills for the thing, I think the effect that it was intending was a
Yeah.
little bit lost to me. Like I kind of had to squint a little bit to be like, that's windmills, right? This is what we're doing.
Mhm.
Like it didn't have it wasn't as polished as some of the other girls,
Yeah.
just straight up. So we all have the ones we advocate for, and I love you, Kitty Space, but yeah, that one didn't work for me personally. I described it as terrible in my notes.
And from the good old US of A, and giving very Alyssa Edwards drag is Yuha.
You know what?
And
Work. Fucking work. I'm
I
fine with
liked
this.
it.
I really did. Yeah.
It's sort of I don't think the judges liked it as much as we did. Or
No.
actually, Raja and Raven didn't, and I was sort of shocked. I thought it was very Alyssa Edwards. It reminded me of like Linda Carter's Wonder Woman. Is that so wild?
No, no,
I
I
was
get it. I
like,
get it. Yeah.
it was like pop to me. And I did love how she said that she was representing the most beloved countries of the world, the USA and China. She knows what she's doing, and I'm
Exactly.
wondering if like she didn't. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe this might have been the rougher runways for her, and maybe she has better ones down the road. Because people should remember she actually had good runways on US. That's not why
Mhm.
on US Drag Race season 10. That's not why she went home. Um Up next is just a showstopper. Again, charging through like a damn hot bull is Khianna with this incredible outfit. How would you describe it, Evan?
I fuck me is how I would describe this look. A giant black muscled bull that is carrying
Hmm.
wheat baskets on them with horns, a glammed up face still in the middle. Everything about it is just so perfect. It's just so unexpected and it works so well. Mama Powell describes it as a nice mix of masculine and feminine, and I agree. Like it is just it is an absolute showstopper and maybe one of the best looks. And this is kind of this whole runway, more than the entrance looks, is how I knew we were being taken care of as an audience. This is
Yeah,
the All Stars level that I expect, and I'm getting it, and I'm so ecstatic.
so good.
Yeah.
Up next was the reveal yourself runway. And first up is Suki. Um, and here's the thing. Again, the runway background didn't help that much. If you look at her photos of it, it looks better in the photos than it did. It looked a little messy on stage, but I still
Yes.
thought it was fantastic and it was couture. And she did two reveals. Some of them did three. I think she just did two. Maybe it was two
She
and a half.
she
Maybe
tried.
I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
it's 2.5. She tried to make that little skirt dress thing and drop it out, so it's
Yes.
just her panty line. But it was still lovely, but also it felt so overwhelmingly safe. And we
Yes.
know Suki doll. We know that's not her bag. So I love a solid try. I love she's still here, but not her strongest set of looks so far.
Agreed. Up next was Bernie, and it was funny. Like I was watching, not to keep bringing them up, but it's been a while since this episode went on. But on Fashion Photo Review, the first thing Raja and Raven said, "Girl, why did you reveal so quick?" Like she had this beautiful blue coat on. She basically took it off before she
Instantly.
even like instantly, and
Yeah.
she should have waited a beat. I think she's nervous. I think that
Which
there's a little bit of nervousness with her.
which is so
But
weird. Yeah.
yeah, so weird 'cause she was so confident, I thought, on her season,
Hmm.
or for the most part.
Yeah.
But they're all great looks. She just did it too quickly, but they
Yeah.
all looked great. I thought she
Yeah.
looked fantastic.
100% agree.
Up next was Something Wong, who made a choice. So Something decided not to really do one or two reveals. She just sort of took everything off. So here's the thing. I will admit, when she first popped on the stage, she's doing this sort of clown British look thing, and I sort of liked it. I was like, oh, this is a little
It's
couture for her.
patchwork, it's
Yeah.
pantomime, like it has those elements to it. Yeah.
And then she just sort of took everything off, Evan. What did you
Down
think?
down to a G string. It's like the masculine make face makeup thing I thought was a good choice. It just felt uh because the thing is, it's not a bad look. It was, I thought, a pretty halfway decent reveal, but stripping down to basically a string thong, Mykonos, hello, like
Yeah,
it didn't have the same impact as some of these other ones. Because when you're up against all these queens that are trying to innovate with stuff, and then you're just doing here I stripped down to almost nothing. It doesn't have that same level of impact, even though
yeah.
I felt like the idea was solid.
Agreed. I thought her idea, again, the execution is not
Hmm.
her forte. So I have to say, for Arizona, this out of the first two episodes is and if this is the worst thing she's done, that's a very low, like a high bar. I didn't think this was great. She's comes out, she's holding the dress when she walks out. I literally wrote, nope, like you can't do that. And then she pulls this hair stunt where she like is trying to be comedic, which she takes her bangs off and she puts,
It's the
I didn't think
merkin.
it, yeah,
Yeah.
Merkin, I didn't think it worked at all. I did like that she took the top of the dress off and made it into like a sort of a fan, but I thought it was a messy for me, and I thought the judges were reacting like they laughed, but they also thought it was a little messy.
I mean, this is Arizona Brandy's bag, though, is prop comedy. That's what she does
Mm,
straight up. So I felt like this outfit specifically, especially with the bangs and the hair switching, there was like two or three
yeah.
different things that happened. I felt like she was just playing into what was effectively her strength. Her runway, her lip sync that she did against Miss Jade So in the finale was also a palooza. Like she's very funny, but again, this she's not beating the Khianna. She's not beating the Khianna allegations or the Marina Summer allegations. It's not as strong as some of the other ones. So I still like it. It's just felt very safe.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I did liked it less than you, and I
Okay.
like Arizona. I just didn't like that look. Um, Up next was Ivory. And here's the thing. The first dress was classy. It's fine. Again, just a
Mm-hmm.
fine gown. I loved the wig reveal. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was creative. But then she took off the gown and had like a really bad nude illusion underneath. And I don't understand what happened with it. I don't know if she lost weight since she tried it on or what happened, but
Saggy.
it was a little saggy.
Yeah.
And maybe she didn't realize it at the time. I would but again, I love the wig reveal. I thought it showed that okay, wait, she might surprise us.
Right. She has some ideas, but one wig is not a whole outfit. Like
Yeah.
it's just not on the same level. So, oh well.
So next was a surprise. Venus comes out, and I liked the dress. And then, every country's different, every person is different. I love the effect. It's
Hmm.
this effect where like an image appeared on the dress, and it showed her love of Christianity and her faith, which I was unaware of.
Hmm.
But I literally wrote, okay, exclamation mark, thanks for sharing.
Hmm.
Um, and then I'm wondering, I don't remember if there was a third reveal or if it was just that. Like, did she do anything else?
That was it. Was just the Jesus fan part. That was
Yeah.
all that she had. So it was fine, but it didn't have the level of impact I was expecting.
No, it
No.
did not.
Yeah.
Um, and then up next was an absolute stunning CM Pushy. And I'm actually like lost my spot here. Hold on one quick second. How is that possible? Um oh, I'm so
So the
sorry, guys.
food platter, it's
The food
okay.
platter. She looked unbelievable. Like she looked so gorgeous in that blonde wig. I was blown away. And I didn't care that it was that one reveal with it. Some people have criticized it. I thought it was incredible.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, there's not enough, and I'm like, you're crazy. I thought she was incredible. What did you
Right.
think?
It was a good look, but the back panel that she then whipped out and turned into the serving tray, I have not seen that. It seems like such a simple stunt, but at least what I remember from all the drag that you and I have watched together, it was effective, it was simple, and it most importantly still played to her what she said, Thai food is the best food in the world. I don't think a lot, some people might fight, but like it worked very well. So just overall, an incredible fucking week for her already. And I don't know what you recall, Greg, but I feel like her runways were good on Thailand 3. She's
Yeah.
operating on another level here, fully.
She totally is. She has had, you know what? She posts her designer. She has been very smart. She has found designers who are not the traditional like drag race designers. A lot of them are
Mm-hmm.
wedding designers or traditional tie gown makers.
Mm-hmm.
And she's found a way to like get them to work with her aesthetic, and it's just uh so cool.
Incredible.
Like I
Incredible.
was just blown away.
Yeah.
Um, Up next was Brigadine. And I don't remember this, but I wrote loved the concept, like the final look. What was it again?
So this was a lava dress that
Oh,
turned into
right.
a feather corset
Yes.
and then a fire gown kind of thing, is how it all worked together. And it was good. I thought it was good. It still felt a little chicken feathery. It still
It
felt a
felt a
little,
little choppy. It
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So I still liked it. It was just not her. I'm not sure runways are going to be her strongest point this season. It was still a good
Well, she
idea,
just had the
though.
great one in the first
Right.
runway.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I actually think I loved the concept. I thought the first look was. I didn't think she needed as many. I didn't think she needed the middle look. She just
Mhm.
needed to get from the first look to the final look because that final gown was stunning.
Right.
But she wanted to do this like smoke thing, which, to be honest, only really worked when they showed it when the judges talked about it and they
Right.
showed the like. I went back and rewatched. I'm like, you can barely see the smoke, but when the judges are talking about it, they had a close up shot that worked better. So I thought that was cool. But I did love the initial cape and how it all looked, and then the final gown was incredible.
Absolutely.
Um, okay, so Yoko comes out. I gotta be honest, I
Uh-huh.
liked the first look. I thought it
Yeah.
was
This
couture.
bone alien kind of structure thing, so unexpected.
I thought it
It
was very Drag Race France. I was like all for
Mhm.
it. And then she takes it off awkwardly, and the muscle look in below just was a mess. Like, and she's very proud of it. She's like, I made this. She thinks it's great. And I think there's a little lack of self-awareness with her that is maybe surprising considering how long she's been a queen.
Hmm.
But that really surprised me because I did like that first look, but this is why she was in the bottom, like hands down, right here.
Unquestionably. And it's weird because between these two looks, we have such different perspectives and such different visions. And I guess you can make the argument too that there's not as much consistency between her looks as some of the other queens
Yeah,
managed. But like, I still liked it, but it wasn't a flat out disaster. It just wasn't as good as I think she thought it was, you know?
agreed.
Yeah.
Up next was Kitty Space, also from France nearby. I actually thought the first look was like close to couture. I thought it was great.
This cocoon thing that she's in.
Yep,
Yeah.
so cool. And then I thought that the unfortunate part was the reveal made the blue dress underneath just a little frayed. Like it didn't. It was like I feel like we just seen this on a U.S. season where like Carson was talking about how something didn't look ironed. Like
Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and I was getting a little bit of that. But I thought again, listen, she had a great episode, super safe. Like on to the next.
Exactly. I love it here. Um, so Gregory Elwood of the playlist, Greg Queen, as I call you. Um, this Yuhua look. This
I
Yuhua look.
liked it. I don't get it. Why is everyone being? I thought it was super smart. I thought it was the only one trying to do anything political. I think she's pushing it. She's trying, and I didn't think that I thought the wolf was supposed to. I think she did herself a disservice in it must have been a confessional talking about it,
Hmm.
saying that she knew that the fur on the wolf wasn't that great. It's not supposed to be. It's
Right.
supposed to be rough and like I I thought it was safe and smart, and I was all for it.
The werewolf look I was fine with. It was that first look, this whole every politician is a sheep before they, end up being
Oh,
a it was that first part that didn't have the impact for me because
okay.
I didn't understand the transformation myself. When she explained it, yes, but in the actual visual, eh.
And then I believe last but not least is Khianna, correct?
Khianna. Mm-hmm.
And this was great. This was as we often say with great horror, this is something where the Boulet brothers would raise a glass of, bloody wine and say cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought it was great. The makeup was fantastic, both on her chest as she sort of unzipped and like exposed this like body bone, like in looking insides, and the brain on her head was fantastic. Like so well done.
Yeah. She did not come to play. She came to
Nope.
fucking win. And it's just so clear and it's incredible. But then we get to the Q&A portion. Everyone gets different questions. Most are pretty serious, talking about
Yep.
what would you do if you had a trans child? What would you do about the attacks that are happening on queer people worldwide? Some of them were a little bit more lighthearted, but the splay of answers was wild.
Hey, can
Uh,
we pause for a second? I think I fucked something up.
so we get to the Q&A portion of the event here. It's kind of all over the place. Suki goes a little bit long. Some Ting Wong does push-ups. Ivory Glaze compares the entirety of Asian people to penguins. It's an odd mix of things over here. Siam Pushy had a really good answer that was very serious when talking about acceptance, and I also thought Brigading talked about a future time machine. If Arizona Brandy talked about the challenge that we all face of having 5 seconds taken away. And Kitty Space just says France. So a wide variety of things. Anything stand out to you of these answers?
Bernie didn't understand the question. She responded with "Love is around the world."
Uh-huh.
And of course, Something Wong did push-ups, which I actually thought was like, all right, you're trying to be
I
memorable.
got the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the other queens were offended that she did it. I don't know why. I did think Siam's question was hands down, knocked it out of the park, treated it like it was real. And I was sort of impressed with that. And I mean, I mean, I thought it was funny that Suki got a question from Jimbo. But I did think they tried to get through it as quick as they could. I was
Yeah.
like they wanted to show the best of it. And I did think that Ivory Glaze had a pretty good answer to hers. Like I think that that's why she was not in the bottom.
Hmm.
Was that was also her second runway and this question. She could have been, but this is maybe
Yes.
what saved her a little bit.
I would agree. But we do get to the judging now, and Khianna, Siam, Brigading, and Arizona Brandy are all in the top. So three Pinoy girls and one international queen. And in the bottom is Something Wong, Madame Yoko, and Kitty Space. The critiques happen. I think we kind of discussed them a little bit in what we described, but ultimately the tops are Khianna and Siam, and the bottoms are Something Wong and Madame Yoko. Do you agree?
Um, I would have had Kitty safe,
Hmm.
but I don't know if she was really that low. I couldn't really figure out. They sort of liked her. It was a little strange. But it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Um, I will say when the judges' critiques went on, something was really not like I she defend she is super defensive. I didn't think Jimbo was being rude
No.
or disrespectful at all in her critiques. I thought Jimbo was actually very kind,
Hmm.
but she is very offended to it. Um, Maxi doesn't love her execution, calls it messy. And Mama makes the great point, like it's okay to be fun and quirky. Doesn't always work, but she liked her gimmick of her push-ups, but
Yeah.
they just didn't like the looks. And what did you think of something on the her how she reacted?
Well, how she reacted starts here and then moves into the workroom where she starts crying.
Yeah.
And it just turns into a whole thing because Madame Yoko also is going through it, but Something Wong has inexplicably come back with a great sense of main character energy, which she was missing from UK. And so it's an interesting pivot. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say it's hard to be a main character on Drag Race UK season one
One.
when the dearly departed the Vivian was there, Davina De Campo was there,
Fucking
Baggett Chips was
Cheryl.
there,
Yeah.
Cheryl. It's hard. It was really hard to be main character, and also even um uh like even Blue was like at times like stealing the spotlight. Yeah, I don't fault her for that, but here she is trying way too hard. And
Hmm.
I don't know if I told you this already, but uh I I mentioned to a friend of mine, did she watch Kitty Scott Claus's run on GAS? Because girl, this is not
Girl,
how you want to make fans around the world.
what
Like, what are you
happened?
doing?
What happened? Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I got some good news for you, Greg. We have a lip sync song, and it's a
Yeah.
banger. It's Debut by Cat's Eye, because yes, we do have a performer of Asian heritage, Pinoy heritage, actually, in the group as well. Makes sense. Khianna versus Siam. I didn't need to watch the lip sync, Greg, because I knew as soon as it started, it was going to go to Khianna.
I actually think, well,
Siam did great,
I
honestly.
thought
Yeah.
Siam did really great. I thought it was super close. I thought that Siam could have won. I thought Khianna was really good. I watched it twice,
Hmm.
but that I thought Khianna was also doing predictable drag moves, and
To a degree. Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
thought Siam like brought it out, and I loved her. I thought she made it work. Also, there was a moment where both of them didn't know the words to the song, like, but that's okay. Like that's fine. Um,
He's not
but
lying.
but I again listen, Khianna wins. It's not a surprise. Uh what is potentially a surprise is when Khianna has to reveal who she decided to send home. And she sends home Yoko,
Madam Yoko.
Madame Yoko. And Madame Yoko is slightly surprised. She's not that surprised. Um I did think something trying to like console her after she was so rude to her like an hour beforehand in the workroom was wild. Um, but c'est la vie, and Madame Yoko sort of leaves with her head held high,
Hmm.
but clearly disappointed. What did you think of Madame Yoko's exit?
I was saddened because I felt like I could see the critiques. It really felt like she had more to show, genuinely.
Yeah.
I don't always say this. Like, I'll be honest, Greg, I don't think Ivory Glaze has a lot more to show. I think she's shown some promise here on there, but I was genuinely more curious in Madame Yoko's concepts than I was in what Ivory Glaze has presented. And who knows, maybe she'll
Yeah.
still prove me wrong. But I'm a little sad by this first out. I was actually really liking her, getting to know her a lot better since Belgique.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, Ivory is gonna kill it in a design challenge, or she'll kill it. Maybe like we don't know. You never know with some of these, or she might be really good in a comedy challenge. I can't remember what she was good at before, but um, which is bad to say. But so we end this first episode,
And the first episode.
and then we had a week,
Uh-huh.
and then we come back,
We
and
come
just
back.
this morning, Slaysian Royale episode 2 dropped, and oh boy,
Oh boy.
boy,
So,
boy.
Siam Prushi reveals that she picked some Ting Wong. And not to take it personally. And I think that is she explains it very well. She's very cordial. I think it's a very nice thing, but we'll see how it plays out. A little bit. We have a mini challenge, Gregory. We have a mini challenge called Cock Ho Nut, in which the queens must go around shares in coconut shoe type things.
Mm-hmm.
Philippines has the best mini challenges, right? Like France is up there too, but I think Philippines just they have all these games to pull from, and they're all amazing and stupid and hilarious, and it's always entertaining for me personally.
And what's so crazy is yet again who wins this challenge? Evan?
Motherfucking Khianna. She
Khianna.
has won every challenge so far, 1.5 episodes in. Two minis and a maxi already. Like,
She
Jesus
she's
Christ.
ready for the Olympics. Like she's an athlete. She's ready for it.
She's ready.
I am
But,
not I'm not playing pickleball or dodgeball or
uh-huh.
kickball on a team against her. Like I got to be on her team because she's going to kill it.
So someone else, I think it's Ivory Glaze, who says, "Why do we need to compete against the rest of the girls? Let's just compete against Khianna, since
Yeah.
clearly she's doing it all." But this episode was a nice reset to that degree. She is the winner. She gets to pick out her team for what is the girl group challenge for the song Asian A. And she just decides straight up to pick every Pinoy girl there. So it's truly the Filipina girls versus the international queens. And I'll be
And don't,
honest. Go ahead.
and Evan, don't forget, sponsored by Cream Silk.
Sponsored by Creams. It's not as egregious as the sponsorships that we saw in fucking Project Runway,
No,
but
no, no,
it's
no. It's
certainly
all.
there.
Hey, listen, they're paying for the show. There's no terrestrial broadcaster for it. I'm all fun.
Exactly.
It's second episode in a row. Cream Silk is like getting the promo. It's
Oh
all
yes, they
good.
are. So some people find that this move of picking all the Pinoy girls a little bit controversial. Might like for me, I think it's like kind of what you want from a show when you have a raid a queen, when you have a gimmick of some sort in the competition in which a queen can take an advantage when you're trying to pair up girls for a makeover challenge, whatever it is. I think you want a queen to do it, to be a little shady, to do something. And Khianna just did that straight up. She felt more comfortable with the Philippine girls, so let's all perform together. And I kind of respect it as a move to a degree, because who knew what chaos she was going to sow in leaving the international girls to their own devices. But some people took it offensively. That's the kind of thing you want to see out of a drag queen, personally. What did you think?
Um, uh, I I did not love it, but
Go into it.
though I just think it's a very us versus them setup, and I
Hmm.
I don't know if it's good for the show long term. And I'm hoping that when we get to episodes 3, 4, 5, because the only spoiler I say is not all these international queens are going to go home.
Hmm.
A lot of them are going to make it pretty far. I hope
Hmm.
there's less of it, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. Um, I just want this to succeed, and I don't want this to become a. I am concerned that it feels as though the Filipino queens really don't want the international queens there, and that they would prefer that this would be a Filipino season. They've talked numerous times about like very like exasperated, like, oh, thank God we can talk in our native tongue, which by the way,
Hmm.
I totally understand. No disrespect. Totally get it. Um, but there's a little bit of that, like, okay, this is what WoW wants to do. WoW's paying for it. Like, can we be a little bit more team players and like get like enjoy the best of what this is? I do think that what was really interesting about it, the episode was Some Ting Wong has not taken any notes from the days before. And the storyline in this episode with her and Yuha, who, by the way, something is coming for Yuha after they've
Hard.
done rehearsals hard in the workroom before they have performed the number. Insane.
What are you
Like,
doing?
like I would send you home just from that. Like, what are you doing? You were so, and then when she's later on upset, and I don't want to get ahead of herself, but she is upset when like the queens call her out, like as who is the weakest link. Yeah, you're basically sabotaging your own group, even though you did the choreography. I lost so much respect for something in this episode. And listen, we all go through shitty things. We all have bad experiences, but this is not cool. Like this
No.
is, I don't know how you, it's not a great reveal of how a person acts under stress. And that was my big sort of takeaway. What did you think from all the workroom discussions? Also, wait, I'm sorry. The one other thing I'll say is through the entire episode, Yuha does not flinch. Like none of this is pressed to her. Like she is
Hmm.
like calm and cool and collected. She has been through so much shit in her life. She's
She's
this is
over it.
not she's no
Yeah.
no, she's not over it. This me she does she's like what she's not, it is so nothing to her.
Right.
She can just blow it off, and it almost makes something more angry. Like you can tell. Like it's
It's
wild.
I'm the more I'm sitting with it, the more I think your kitty Scott Claus comment kind of comes into play, where it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, is that what I have to do that? Is just be main character energy? Well, listen, Rue's not here right now. She's in the
Mm,
room, Ale, but she's not in the room. So that kind of energy is just like, listen, we know that the fucking Filipina queens can be bratty and at times can
yeah.
be shitty. We've seen it before. Even picking all the Pinoy girls, that's nothing level to the disrespect that something is showing, where she just has this burden of responsibility. And the worst part is that when I see a queen crashing out due to delusion, when I think about Melinda Verga, it's entertaining. It's actually good
Yeah.
TV. It's a star-making thing. This is not that. This is bitter. And it's not fun to watch. It's not fun to be in the room with. Like it's technically good TV for conflict, but they're in the workroom after the critiques, it just keeps escalating. It's so bad. And like I don't want to say it stains the episode, but man, when they left the international queens without any dance experience with them, sorry, Khianna made the right call. She really
Yeah.
did in that sense, you know?
And by the way, I will say, because some people have talked about online already that like, uh, you know, the Philippines queens are going to destroy them for the rest of the season because they're all dancers and
Hmm.
all the. I do think that WoW was trying to fill out the cast with other archetypes that they cast with normally
Yeah.
that were not available in the Philippines queens. So
Mm.
they wanted more comedy queens. They wanted a big designer. They wanted Suki. They wanted someone who could be a very big talking head, like to sort of keep the season going. And Yuha for English viewers. Like I totally get what they were doing.
Hmm.
And that I do think if they wanted to, they could have found 5 or 6 other queens that were all incredible dancers that
Hmm.
we know of, that we've
Hmm.
seen on non-Philippine seasons, who could have slayed it. Also, Siam can dance, so
Yeah.
let's like step it. The
But
other
like
thing is,
there's no Aurora Matrix here. Right.
there's no Aurora Matrix, there's no Belinda Verga.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things that aren't
Yeah.
also there's a couple of US queens that they could have even cast.
Yeah.
Um but I will say is uh before we get to this, they do the runways. The other thing is Khianna did pick basically all the queens who work at Obar, or most of them
Hmm.
who work at Obar. So they all know each other. They've all
Yeah.
done choreography 20 million times. And so it's a smart competitive advantage. It in theory, if she was just doing it for that, it would have made sense.
Yeah. 100%. They also have, like the different groups. It's Slay Mix versus P Nice. And at one point, they're like, well, we're the best queens in the Philippines. Well, we're the best queens in the world. Well, we're the best queens in the universe. And I think it's Yuha who says, well, the universe is an illusion, which is a fucking wild thing to say, but sure, go with it. And also, Maxi was a pretty good vocal coach, and I thought was pretty fair to everyone, too. Who knew some of the pipes on some of these girls? We knew with Venus, but holy shit, she knocked it out of the park. And yeah, then we get to the performances. Slay Mix versus P Nice doing Asian A, Gregory Elwood. What did you think?
So here's the one thing I'm going to say. I didn't think the international queens embarrassed themselves.
I thought
I
it was going to
thought,
be, I didn't think, I thought it was going to be a blowout, and it wasn't. And I was actually very
no,
impressed by that.
I
Yeah.
thought for the most part, their lyrics were good.
Hmm.
I thought Siam was very good. I actually thought Yuha was really good, had great
Hmm.
energy. I don't,
Hmm.
they talked later on that her choreography was off, but maybe I missed that. I didn't think her, when she did her solo, it was off. I thought
Right.
her solo was really good. I thought that Suki was great. I thought Suki could have been high. I thought she was fantastic. I thought Ivory was weak.
Hmm.
And I thought that the biggest problem with something was actually fine. It was
I thought
good,
so. Yeah.
but that whole extended like vocal like thing over the rest of the song, what do you like that sort of like Mariah Carey,
Yeah,
what,
the
yeah,
ad libs. Yeah.
ad lib. I thought it was showboating, and it took no, I actually thought that's what they were dinging her for. Like they dinged her for not lip syncing to it,
Hmm.
but like I I also thought it was like, wait a minute, you just took over this entire, it's supposed to be a teen challenge,
Right.
and you're dominating the entire song for like, it wasn't 2 seconds, it
Right.
was like 8 to 10 seconds of her just doing these vocal runs. And I'm like, and by the way, when they were recording, you could tell that like, was that Maxi who was the
Yes.
you could tell Maxi was like, okay. Like she wasn't
Right.
unimpressed with what she was doing. Something can sing, but she was realizing, like, all right, you want to lay this down. And the other girls were just whatever. Like, if
Yeah.
you're gonna but I didn't think they were that bad. I thought that overall, the Filipino girls killed it. I thought Bernie was weak, and I didn't think it was necessarily just because she, we later on have Venus have to. Well, we'll get to that, but
Yeah.
I didn't think it was just because of her verses. I thought she was just the weakest one out of the group. I actually thought Khianna could have won this week again. I
Maybe.
thought she and Venus were the best.
Speaking of camera work, by the way, when they did
Yeah,
that shot of her when she did the fucking giant leg shoot up, land on your pads move, it felt like she was 8 feet high. Like the
yeah.
angle was insane. I'm like, holy fuck, Khianna is just
I
destroying again. Right.
I was really surprised that she was not in the top this week. I didn't think Arizona was in the top. I thought Arizona was really great in this though,
Hmm.
but we'll get to the runways. I didn't think that anyway.
I
So,
actually, I have a quick theory though. I think that keeping Khianna out of the top was a good thing
oh
because with
yeah,
her winning as much as she's had up to this point on here, if she was also top two again, the favoritism allegations would be all over the place. By her not even being in the top three, I think that helped because then all of a sudden it seems like a little bit more of an even playing field. Because at this point, especially after All Stars
but
10, we know that perception thing. I don't know. That's just my thought.
I think the difference though is
Hmm.
that it's one thing if she was in the top three and they decided to still make it um
Arizona and
Venus
Venus is the
versus
top two. Right. Yeah.
Arizona
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, they dinged her runway that for some, bizarre reason. It's another thing, like, and also if she had been in the top two, and let's say she won that lip sync, like, it's not the same as Ginger Minj. Like,
Hmm.
to me, it's Ben de la Creme. It's like, no, it's
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
queen coming in and just being like, just blowing everybody away, and it is what it is. And, it's Jimbo in some ways, like at parts of her season,
Hmm.
or even Shangela. I know we're not supposed to talk about Shangela, but like even her sometimes on All Stars, like it, it's a little bit of that to me. So, but yeah, I mean, and I'm curious when we hit episode 3, because there's not really anything from her talking about whether she's upset that she's safe or not. They
Right,
sort
at
of
all.
cut her out of the rest of the episode.
Well, there's another main character this episode, so
Yes.
well,
Uh,
hey,
let's get to that.
yeah,
Let's
well,
get to
actually,
the
let's get to the
runways.
runway first,
Yeah,
because the idea is tech couture, which is one of those things where you have to see it before you know what it is.
because
And
you
I
we
go ahead.
probably thought it was something else than it actually was. So
Yes.
how would you describe it before we talk about the runways?
I thought it was going to be Matrixy future stuff. I think the actual thing is, can you include a technically moving element into your
Yes.
garment? Which was interesting. Some people did it better than others. Let's get into it. Suki doll. She comes out in this kind of silk showgirl look with all of these moving parts. It's good. It didn't have the level of impact I wanted from it, but I thought it was still, interesting. I thought it was good.
I need to rewatch it. I don't remember anything moving. I remember it having lights. Like I sort
Right.
of thought
There
it
was a
had
couple
lights and
like rotating items on here, but a lot of
ah,
queens just had like rotating like flowers or like breastplates or whatever. Like there's a lot of safe choices on here. Lazy Susan would have fucking murdered these hoes.
yes,
I'm
she would
telling
have
you right now.
destroyed this.
Friend of the pod. Some Ting comes out. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Best look some Ting Wong has ever worn. Best look, one of the better looks on the runway. All of these red velvet arms and one on her head sticking around. It was phenomenal. I thought it was really, really great.
I thought it was good.
Yeah. Kitty Space shows up here. Holy fuck. With this carnival freak show thing.
So
She's got
good.
layers of eyes, and then her head opens up to reveal like a
Blows up.
tent star. It's so cool. It is also the best thing Kitty Space has ever worn. I was genuinely stunned.
I also
Genuinely.
think her legs blew up too. I think it
Yeah,
was the
yeah, they
legs
did.
and
Yeah.
I think it was the top two of the week. I thought it was unbelievable and
Unquestionably.
uh it was that is the France that I wanted to see on this runway and she did her sisters proud. I thought she was great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Siam's look was weird because it was mainly about the head. Like there was a dress and
Yeah.
everything else like that, but it was these lotus petals just kind of folding and unfolding around her, and the focal point was all there. So it was a good look. Go ahead.
My only take, this was when, so this is the one weird thing about this runway. I feel like at times the camera people did the girls a disservice and
Yeah.
they did not capture it correctly,
Yes.
or they weren't at the right angle. And I don't know if it's because the queens only got to come down one time or what happened, but I was like, oh no, if the camera was to the left, you would get it, you would see it more. And
Hmm.
it doesn't matter. It's only for the viewer because in person, it's always going to be what the judges see. So they saw a better effect than we did. They really got to see it. But I thought for the viewer it was a little unfortunate because I think that look was better than it looked on camera.
Yeah. Now, Greg, can you for me describe Yuhua's look on the runway?
So Yua does preface that her look broke on the
Uh-huh.
way, or it broke in the workroom, and she took a random outfit she had and basically tried to pull off a Bob the Drag Queen
Yep.
robot look
Mm-hmm.
without roller skates, which
Mm-hmm.
would have helped.
Mm-hmm.
And I give her credit.
I give her
She did
credit.
her bet.
She
But I
really did.
also would have said if she did not have this look, she would not have been in the bottom three. Like if she had
Yeah,
had
I would
just
agree. I would agree.
a better look, she would have been safe. So I feel like it was very unfortunate. I also don't think she was ever thought she was going home, but that's just me. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I did think it was unfortunate. I did not think that, she was Lala Ree and like
No,
I didn't think it was god awful. It just was a look that did not meet the critique in any
at
way because
all.
she was playing it off.
Yeah. Khianna, she comes out with basically this white look of like flowing vines. It was like coral reef almost kinda. Like it was
Yeah.
nebulous. It was gorgeous. I thought she knocked it out of the park yet again. I thought it was really, really good.
Top three of the week. She should have been top three. Like I don't
Absolutely.
understand.
Brigadig came out. It basically had kind of like this feather hat and this gold lame dress, but the feather hat just kept
Yeah.
opening and just like having this effect. I thought it was really well done. It was weird because so many queens had multiple moving parts. Having just the hat or just the pasties spin was not as effective, but it still was gorgeous. It was still lovely to look at.
I don't understand how she was top three. I thought the dress, no,
Yeah, yeah.
I liked the head, but the headpiece, but I thought the dress was basic. I
Hmm.
did not think the dress was that good. And I thought she was good. They were all really good in the challenge, but and then listen, I'm not a Khianna stan. Like I
Right.
wanted Maxi to win. Like big time. So but Khianna blew her away. Like again, I felt like she got there by default, and they just wanted somebody else to be in the top three.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. Venus comes out in a fisherman's net dress and a bowl of fish. And you're like, oh, okay, what does this have to do? She takes the bowl, tosses
So
it
good.
out, and all the fish are in her dress and they're all flopping around. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. It was
I
cool.
didn't see it. I thought it, when she flew it out, I went, oh, I know it's gonna happen. But I did not, I was like, she came out first with the fish, and I'm like, what's gonna, I'm like, maybe it was a reveal, like the dress was
Yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
something. I thought, I thought it was so fucking good.
It was so
That
good.
is drag. That is smart. She did not, she transformed herself. She looked a little Valentina. Like she
Hmm.
looked, I loved it so much. I just thought it was so fucking good. I loved it.
Absolutely.
And you could
Uh,
tell the crowd, the judges were like,
hell
holy
yeah.
shit. Like
Hell
that is
yeah.
great.
Such a nice pivot from the other outfits we've seen
Yes.
too, which I thought was good. Because then you have Bernie in this kind of coconut white butterfly dress, and there's a lot of like petally things, and they're just kind of flowing there. It's nice. It's nice. It
I
doesn't have the
I
same
felt
impact.
bad. If
Yeah,
it was a regular season, it might have been the top best look of the week. But just
100%.
in context, it just was safe. But also them all, the dress being white, all being white, did not help her
No,
against that background. But also, yeah, like that was also, she was weak in the challenge, so they weren't gonna have her be high.
no. Arizona Brandy comes out in what I would describe as kind of this alien plant, kind of like Bodyssey type look. There's a couple rotating things on there. The judges really seem to like it. I was not as impressed by this one myself. Like it was good, it was safe overall. It didn't have that technical element I was looking for to really stand out.
I was shocked they loved it. I
Yeah.
did not get it at all. I I think I understood brigading more than hers. I
Hmm.
thought it didn't fit her. I didn't think the proportions were great. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
But she was great in the challenge. I
Yeah.
just didn't love the runway.
Yeah. And then it's weird because Ivory Glaze, she comes out with a hypnosis based look where there's spirals on her titties and then a spiral on her headpiece on here. I thought the outfit itself, the dress, this black and white dress, was actually very smart. I thought it was very nicely styled. I thought it was very couture. The rest of the elements didn't exactly hit, but the dress at least was like very solid for me.
It felt very down under. It
Yeah.
felt and I sorry. Like I liked it, but
She's
it
not
felt
she's not at the other level, Greg. I think that's the
I
thing.
thought this
Yeah.
would have been a great look on Down Under. Like people
100%.
would have been like, "Oh my God, I love that look." But in this context, everyone else is just again on another level. And but I didn't. But she was low because of her performance and not because of that.
Agree. So, Mama Pao then says, we're not going to judge by groups, we're going to judge individually. Ironically, the bottom three are from the international group, and the top three are from the Pinoy group. And before we even do the critiques, we're going to ask you a question. Is there anyone in the group that's dragging you down? And Yuha and Ivory both say it's Ting Wong, and Ting says it's Yuha. And then Brigading and Arizona say, we're a great group. I don't know what you're talking about. And Venus was like, Bernie's lyrics, I didn't love them. And Mama Pow's like, that's the answer I'm looking for. Maybe we go to Venus every time now
Wait,
for these
you're
questions.
forgetting. After each time she
Yes.
asked one of the Filipino queens, she goes, "Okay,
Okay. In the way
okay."
that only she does.
Oh,
It's
only the way
incredible.
she could. So good.
So good.
Okay.
Yeah. So they get the critiques overall, and then they determine that the top two is going to be Arizona Brandy and Venus, and the bottom two is going to be Ivory and Something. Yuhua with her runway completely avoids that because of her great performance in the song.
And
Uh,
something is mad.
Something.
Like
Oh fuck, Greg. If you're just listening to this podcast because you like pleasant, wonderful voices on here, that's great. But if you want some fire in your life, please look up this episode. Because man, Something Wong has a lot of fucking shit to say. In that workroom.
and not only does she have a lot of fucking shit to say, she says fuck about 10 times.
Right.
She says it the second she walks into the workroom, she sits down. She is mad.
She's
And
pressed.
she's really upset.
Yeah.
And I and she goes on this like she's mad that they like called her out, and like
Mad at her group, and
yeah,
yeah, it's just it's like bitter Betty. It's not a fun look, and other queens are dealing with it. And then Ivory at the very end is like, I just hope that at the end of the day, I don't want to be shit. I was shit on my season. I really want to
yeah.
prove myself. I just hope you pick my lipstick. No, wait, that means I go home. I hope you don't pick my lipstick. Incredible. The top two girls, it's Venus and Arizona. They do a lip sync song to XL by Sylvie, who is a Thai Filipino artist. It's kind of Lizzo-y. It's kind of wild over here. I think they both do a pretty good job. It's pretty neck and neck, but for me, I think there's a pretty good winner. Greg's look right now.
No,
What?
I actually am really happy. Like the first two lip syncs of this season have been really good.
Yeah.
And also I don't remember Venus as a good lip syncer. So I was like, she has stepped up her game.
Mm-hmm.
She's also a little thinner. Like she looks great. Like she was doing stuff I never remember doing, and maybe I'm wrong. I need to go back and rewatch her lip syncs, but I was super impressed, and I thought it was close, but I was happy that Venus won. I'm super happy for her.
Yeah, she deserves it, absolutely. And I like right now we have two Pinoy girls who've won in a row, so we'll see if that trend breaks. But either way, so happy. Ting Wong bitter on her exit as well. She decides she says that I guess I did do something Wong as her exit line, but then in the workroom is like, my voice is on the track, you can't take that away. It's like, well, yeah, every girl has that, but cool. Just an insane spiral that I was not expecting out of all the queens here. Just a wild downfall.
And
Uh,
how did Venus like preface letting something go? Do you remember? Like what did
she
she say
she what was
to
it?
justify her pick?
This queen, I know she's going to excel out here, but it was something about like her attitude in the challenge or just her vibe or
Yep.
something like that, and it was like, well, I don't need to. You don't need to show it. I think I know, girl. But yeah, it was something Wong was not making any friends this season.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said on a competitive show like this, where if you are miserable to be around, it doesn't matter if you did well and you deserved, like they're just gonna send you home. Like they
Uh,
just nobody wants to deal with that,
yeah,
especially for another 48 hours or 72 hours. And I totally got it.
yeah.
Yeah. So Evan, we are 2 episodes in. What are your thoughts overall on Slaysian Royale? Because I have a couple points that I want to make, but I want to hear yours first.
At some point I want to know who you want to win and who
Yeah,
you think will win. I do think if Khianna lands in the bottom, I think she's gonna go home because she's such a big target on her back right now. However, overall, I'm enjoying it hugely. The vibe feels right. I think the runways are on a next level, and I love being back in Philippines again. It still remains one of the top three franchises, as we discussed many times before. Right now, 2 episodes in, I'm loving it. It's off to a great start. It's right neck and neck there with All Stars France going on right now. It just feels perfect, and it feels like I'm washing some of the bad stuff of All Stars 10 out of my mouth in watching this. What are your thoughts?
I agree with the washing. To be honest, I've already forgotten about All Star 10. Actually, something happened while Evan was on vacation where Ginger Minj did an interview with someone, and I literally sent the video to
He
Evan, and I was
did.
like, "Stop talking, Ginger.
Oh my
Stop.
God.
Just go quiet for
When
six
I
months."
entered the workroom, I was at a
Like,
disadvantage.
yeah, I was
Okay.
like, "Oh, girl, stop. You're making it worse." Um, I don't think it's at the level of Drag Race France. I'm
Okay.
gonna be really honest. I
Fair, fair.
still think there's a lot of I think there's lots of a little rough around the edges stuff that is in like the most endearing way possible, like why I love the show
Yes.
or love this franchise. Um I'm I would be shocked if Khianna didn't win.
Yeah.
Uh I don't know who else can win, but if I were to pick, I guess Venus, I feel like Suki is this
He's
underdog
lying in wait.
she's lying in wait. If you got, hey
Mhm.
guys, watch the edit.
Next week's a
They're
design
hiding her.
challenge. Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah.
hiding her in these first 2 episodes. They're doing it on purpose,
Mhm.
not because they want to send her. They're giving other queens another run. You've seen this on every freaking season. Um, and my only other concern is Bernie. I'm super concerned about Bernie. I thought Bernie would come in with a lot of fire, and she
Mhm.
seems a little passive. She seems somehow out of her, not out of her league, but like she's acting as though she's out of her league.
Which is
Or her,
crazy, right?
yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I do think by the end of this episode, Mama Pow has got it down. She's like in a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
She's rip roaring, ready to go with whatever
Karate
English queen
chop.
comes in.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
I guess my only other shocker about this first two episodes, because I don't know if she'll be back, is I thought Maxi was much more eloquent in English on her season than she's been as a judge. She seemed nervous at times,
I would agree.
and I was sort of shocked because I remember seeing interviews with her or her talking, and she could be very conversational, and I was like, oh, she'd be perfect for an all winners. And now I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if she would be. Like, I was sort of I don't know. Am I crazy with that?
No, and truth be told, her critiques weren't especially helpful, I thought,
No.
overall. I thought Jimbo had a little bit more precision, he had a little bit more inquiry and a little bit more empathy, but also Jimbo loves Drag Race so fucking much that
Yes.
reads through the camera. Because this is not the first time she's guest judged on stuff before, but like, it definitely has an impact, and you can kind of see that. And we've had the same judging panel for 2 weeks now. It changes up next week as we get Khaled Karen back and the hot photographer guy. But we'll see.
Uh,
Right now, it's still very good. And Mama Pow, now that she's in her sarcastic mode again, I'm set for life. I'm good.
and also, can we talk this week? Her coming out with that
Uh
stunning
huh.
headpiece.
Uh huh.
That is fucking drag.
That's
Like
fucking
that is the
drag,
Mama
baby.
Pow I wanted to see. I forgot about that
Drag
for a second.
queen.
That was
Hey,
so
drag
good.
queen put some sparkles on in this last
Yes.
couple weeks. She's got a
She
couple.
did.
Yeah.
Someone said the memo must have come in from
Yeah.
Hollywood Boulevard. Like
Yeah. Just
drag, like
FYI.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we will be back. And
Mm-hmm.
Evan, we're going to try to do Slaysian as a solo episode every time because it also
Mm-hmm.
drops a little earlier
Yes.
in the weeks. And also we got 8 more episodes. This has
We
got a
got.
long way to go.
We're ready,
So if
baby.
you're excited, get ready because there's going to
Yeah.
be a lot more. We've got Sasha Colby coming.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Pangina Heels coming. We got a lot
Yeah.
of queens are coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fantastic time. If you want to hear us recap the other seasons going on right now, which is Brazil and All Stars France, we have that episode out separately. UK's coming around too. We'll still keep this separately, but so far to all of our fans that have been listening and commenting and giving us stuff, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Leave your own review on wherever you're streaming this. We always appreciate it. But until then, Ashe, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care.